I'm gonna be ranking every single hero from the lowest skill to master up until the highest skill. The ranking will mostly be based on how I feel about the actual design of the hero, so I'm not gonna be slapping BK as the lowest skill because of how stupidly broken Archer is. I will take into consideration how easy it is to pick up the hero and how high of a skill ceiling does the hero have. Starting off with the Monk being the lowest skill hero ever, mainly because of how he kinda babysits himself. He has self-heal and is pretty much tanky, and you kinda just throw him there and wait for him to do his own thing. His clash ability is kind of like a casino simulator where you have a 20% chance of instantly winning the early rounds. And his super is just a simple instant kill, so nothing very complicated about him. At number 8 we have the Shield Maiden. Having certain synergies with heals in her ability kinda makes her a bit more demanding of understanding the game's mechanic to play. But besides knowing that you should pair her with healers, I feel like any simple-minded person can just pick it up and find some success. You simply just put her in the front, put one healer run row in the back, and spam other minis and stonks. It's like the skill in playing Shield Maiden is just finding the right deck on YouTube and having common sense in placements. Heck, even her clash ability has like 60% chance of hitting your opponent, so you don't really need to think much about it. She can also deal with backline minis on her own, making sure you don't have to worry about having backline access like miners or magic archers, but you can still use those if you want to bully archer queen players though. At number 7 we have the Barbarian King. He's a very simple hybrid hero, being both a tank and a support. Him being this simple is not necessarily a bad thing since he's the starter hero, but what makes him more skilled than the Monk or the Shield Maiden is that he usually uses cheap minis, so knowing upgrade order and managing rerolls can give him a bit of a higher skill ceiling, but ultimately he's still very easy to pick up and not that difficult to master. Right at number 6 we got the Countess. The Countess is kinda tricky to pick up at first, but when you figure it out, it's pretty much the same process over and over again. The whole gameplay revolves around having enough stun or slow support in your decks so the Countess can survive as long as possible. The kill counter mechanic is a bit complicated, and I feel like we can find some specific interactions with the Countess to justify a high skill ceiling of some sort, but I honestly haven't played her that much, so let me know in the comments how skilled do you think she is. Right at number 5 we got the Skeleton King. Now the Skeleton King is a solid semi-tank, which is pretty much a simple design in general, but his isolation kind of completely gives him some extra depth, because isolation is kind of a tricky mechanic for new players to get a hold on, and the absorb is also not any less simpler. It just feels like the average player will need to put in more effort to understanding how exactly the Skeleton King works and how to place minis around his isolation to get the most value out of it. At number 4 we got the Wave Master. Now the Wave Master is kind of a tricky hero because your opponent's skill in countering him does influence his performance a bunch, but his clash ability allowing you to throw a mini on your opponent's side opens the door for a lot of interactions that you can spend a while trying to analyze and understand. I feel like his clash ability does really raise his skill ceiling, but also the fact that he isn't a reliable tank since he moves away kinda forces you into worrying about protecting your backlines as well. At number 3 we got the Royal Champion. Due to having the worst survivability in the game, she is to be considered a high skill hero. The problem is almost everything is a very dangerous threat for the Royal Champion. For example, a miner connecting is a game over and Archer just wrecks her completely, and if she got hooked by a fisherman, she's kinda gone. So I feel like knowing how to keep her safe does kinda cause a higher skill ceiling and results in her being a harder hero to pick up. At number 2 we got the Archer Queen. Kind of like a similar case to the Royal Champion, but a little less punishing on the survivability side. The invisibility does make her less skilled and more skilled at the same time. While it's easier to protect her with the invisibility in equation, it definitely is harder to get the most out of it considering it's only around her instead of the whole board. The way you arrange your minis around the Archer Queen changes drastically based on your opponent's deck and playstyle, which makes the Queen more difficult to pick up and gives her a considerably higher skill ceiling because it allows a lot of adaptation to your opponent's playstyle. Now for the most skilled hero ever, the Natureborn. On paper she's the most complex hero of them all. The overheal mechanic is certainly very unique and wouldn't be easily understood by the average player right away. The form changing mechanism also makes her more complicated, as it does in a way limit your placement options and gives you more choices to worry about. All that while considering the overheal gives different buffs based on the form makes Natureborn pretty difficult to pick up and hard to master as well. Obviously not taking into the account the stupidly broken Electro Wizard synergy with her, since we are talking just about the hero design. Any thoughts? Let me know down below. Thanks for watching and I'll see you later, my dudes.